What's happening, Cowboy Nation? It is Janae's Cowboy coming to you from Family First. We're going to break down this this loss by the Cowboys. Some numbers done came out. Let's get into it. What's happening, family? I am Janae's Cowboy coming to you from Family First. Thank you to my subscribers for rocking with me. Guys, this defense is historically bad. Historically bad. We all know this. We've all seen it. It reminds me of the Mike Nolan days. That's where we're going now. Mike Nolan defense. It's that bad. It's that bad. And it's only been 3 games, I know, but it's been historically bad. So we want to address some of the numbers that came out last night with Next Gen Stats. I want to just first say that as a defensive coordinator, when you come to a team, you have to assess your talent and look at what their strengths and their weaknesses are, right? If your system is a zone system, but you don't have the players to run it, you then in turn have to look at what you have and until you get your horses, you have to get the players that you need, that you can get to and help them with their strengths. So if their strength is man-to-man, if their strength is another type of system, you have to do that until you get what you need. You can't put a round peg in a square hole, right? And I think that's what's happening here with the Cowboys. And I ain't singling out no player because it's all of them. It ain't just one player. It's all of them. It's like they don't know what's going on. They're slamming their hammers on the sideline because they're missing assignments, and I mean, who's to blame? Who's to blame? Is Jerry to blame? Is the coaching to blame? Are the players to blame? Who is to blame? And you got to figure that out. You got to figure out who exactly are you blaming for this debacle? I mean, who's to blame? Right? So I want to give you guys some numbers, right? I want to give you guys some numbers here. Now, the Cowboys, Eberflus played 86% zone in this game. 86%. And typically I would have been like, man, the zone ain't working. The zone is terrible. I think last week you played like 75% of zone, right? And we got ate up by the Giants, Russell Wilson and the Giants. And we're going to get to Russell Wilson and the Giants and what his numbers was today and the other days. But we played 86% zone yesterday. Okay? Now, Caleb Williams went 15 for 24 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns against the zone. Right? That was in the first half. Now, ain't the whole game. That's the first half. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to take that back. That is the whole game. But I'm just going by what he did in the zone, right? So you would think, well, if he's doing that well in the zone, 2 touchdowns, 212 yards, 15 for 24, let's do a little man. Let's do some man. Because obviously the zone ain't working. They're not figuring out the zone. They haven't gotten to that point to know what they need to do in the zone. Let's go man to man. Caleb Williams was 4 for 4 against man-to-man, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter what the Cowboys played yesterday. Zone, man-to-man, you got ate up regardless. Who is that? Is that the defensive coordinator? Is that the players? Who's doing that? You can't play zone. You can't play man. What are we doing? Those are some of the numbers that came out last night. And we really gotta We got to understand what we have here. So now we got to turn and look at the front office and the players that you bought in. The K.I. Elams, the what's the linebacker name? Kenneth Murray, the Jack Sanborns. We got to look at the front office. Are the players that you brought in, are they the players that you wanted that's able to run this kind of defense? I would hope you would look at the guy you hired and look at the talent that you have and say, well, hope this lines up. But we all know with Jerry, here's one of the biggest problems that I think we overlook with Jerry. Jerry like to hire coaches that he's comfortable with, that he has some type of relationship with, right? He doesn't really go out and get top talent on either side of the ball. Head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He don't go get top talent. He gets players. He get coaches that he's familiar with. The Dave Campos of the world. Coaches that done came and coached on his team. He had some type of relationship with. Eberflus was a head coach for the Chicago Bears, but he also was our linebacker coach for Dallas a few years back. So he had some type of relationship with Eberflus. And I ain't knocking Eberflus just yet, but the system, bro, I'm having an issue with how you looking at players and you're asking certain players to play a certain position and they can't play. Donovan Wilson is not a cover safety. He's not. He is not a cover safety. Why is he doing against the Giants? 33 seconds left. Malik Neighbors is on one side of the field. K.I. Elam giving him like a 10 to 15 yard cushion. 33 seconds left. Donovan Wilson is on that same side. Malik Neighbors get behind both of them. He running full speed. K.I. Elam just jogging. Donovan Wilson got his eyes locked in on an invisible man. He runs right past him, gets behind him, and that's how they took the lead with 25 seconds left in the last game. We came back and won the game that, because of our kicker, he saved us. But the point is, you got somebody playing in a position that they can't play. He can't play that. We should know that by now. Last week in the press conference, Brian Schottenheimer came in. He said the communication was fixed. The game against the Giants was a communication problem. And he said, we worked on that and we think we have fixed the communication problem. Well, obviously that's not true. Because to me, they look worse this week than they did last week. They look lost. They look, totally lost. And I'm wondering now, who's to blame? Right? Who has the highest percentage of the blame? The front office? The coaches? Or the players? Y'all tell me, who has the highest blame? What percentage do you give them? I'm going to tell you what I give them. The front office, when it got K.I. Elam, the guy from the Bills didn't even want him. I think K.I. Elam right now is the worst cornerback as far as statistics now, as far as people catching the ball on him with big yards. I think he is the worst cornerback in the league right now. I may be mistaken. Y'all can look it up. Kenneth Murray, everything they said about Kenneth Murray, how he's not that great at covering, reading defense, reading the blocks and getting, a lot of tackles, and he's not that great at reading and knowing where to be at. But my biggest shock This is where I got the biggest problem at. My biggest shock is Jack Sanborn. This is a guy who played in Eberflus's defense. He knows it like the back of his hand. He played it last year in Chicago, right? In the preseason, he had a game where he looked amazing. I think he played one game in the preseason, 1.5 games maybe. And I'm going to get back to the preseason in a second, but Jack Sanborn played in Eberflus's defense. But he looked just as bad as Kenneth Murray, anybody who's never played in Eberflus's defense. He don't look like he's the veteran who knows it and he's in the right place. He looks just as bad as everybody else. Now let me talk about the preseason. Schottenheimer held players out. You was correct about Dak. You was absolutely correct about Dak Prescott and not playing him in the preseason. All right? All right, let's give you some applause on that. Congratulations. You were right about Dak Prescott. The rest of them jokers, especially on defense that you did not play because they was veterans, they needed to play. Whoever you held out in the preseason, I know Kenneth Murray was one of them. I didn't see Kenneth Murray. I don't think I saw him in any preseason game. He might have played the first one, but I don't think he played in any of them. I know K.R. Elon played, but there was players you held out in the preseason on defense. Think you want to get that back? You think you want to play a little bit more? We look horrible on defense, guys. Horrible. And we have to find something. Eberflus got to do something. It's something, man, you got to do with the players you got. It's no reason for you to be this bad. It's teams that has worse players than we do. They ain't this bad. Everybody's wide open in this defense. Everybody. Russell Wilson last night looked like the regular Russ we've been seeing for the past 2 years. But against us, he looks like Seattle Russ. I think Russell Wilson last night had a quarterback rating of 49 last night against Kansas City. But against us, he looks amazing. We're the solutions for anybody who has a struggling offense. Play the Cowboys. We'll fix it for you. That's where we are right now. So holding players out in the preseason was a mistake. The communication isn't fixed. We need to, I know we got Overshawn coming back at some point. We got Michael Parsons coming in next week. If we can somehow get together and pull together and beat Green Bay, we may have a decent season, guys, but I don't even know. That defense is so bad. I don't know if we can fix all of that with the players that we have. Let's talk about the offense a little bit now. Dak Prescott. I'm going to give Dak Prescott his props when he do well. Now, Dak Prescott had nothing to do with how we played as far as the blame game, the blame pie. He doesn't have a piece of this blame pie. Forgive me. But he didn't play well yesterday. Now, I'm going to give him his props when he played well. He did not play well yesterday, right? Now, in particular, there was one drive when we came out the second half. And at this point, you can see that your defense can't stop nobody. They can't stop nobody. So we need every possession. We need you to score at least 30 points. I know it's unfair, but you got to score 30 every game with this defense. So every drive matters. It was 3rd and long, 38, 39, something like that. Can't remember exactly. But Dak Prescott on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, drops back and threw a check down to Ferguson. And I understand if you threw the check down, you had pressure in your face. Ferg might have got open. It was nobody back there facing, about to tackle Dak Prescott. He checked the ball down almost immediately. He didn't even look down. He didn't even go through his reads. I was so pissed at that. And I'm going to look at the tape because I got the all-22 now, so I'm going to look at some tape. But I was so pissed at that. The guy did not even look down the field. He checked the ball down the Ferg. This was in the 3rd quarter when we need every drive. We down 24-14. And he throws a check down to Ferguson. I think I got the quarter right. But he threw a check down to Ferguson, and he didn't even get – it was nobody back there. He had time to go through reads, to look downfield. He threw the check down to Ferguson. And while we talking about Ferguson, let's talk about Ferguson. Ferguson got 14 catches yesterday. He can't break a tackle, bro. No yards after the catch. What happened to him? His rookie year, it looked like he was going to be a big yak guy. Since his rookie year, the first guy that he comes in contact with takes him down. No yard after the catch. I'm not sure what his numbers wind up being, but I know he didn't go over 100. He might got 14 catches for like 60, 70 yards. Because he can't break tackles. And I know CeeDee Lamb was down. I know that guy's gonna come from. I ain't getting on Dak. I'm just saying, I'm being honest with the game. I'm calling you. I'm being honest. CeeDee Lamb was out the game. You got George picking, and I know Ferg is the second option. Can we go ahead and get rid of Jalen Tolbert though? Can we finally go ahead and say that Tolbert? I don't know what you call it. The Tolbert thing didn't work. It didn't work. See, if we're not depending on Tolbert, he's a 3rd or 4th wide receiver. He may show up every now and then, have a big catch on a 3rd down and all this stuff. Last week, I was pissed that Dak kept going to him on 3rd down, but he showed up on a couple of 3rds down. But when we need him, when we're focused on him being the number 2, that's not him. He ain't it. Jalen Tolbert ain't it. And as a matter of fact, if Mingo wasn't hurt, Jalen Tolbert probably wouldn't even be on the team. He'd probably be traded by now. So after he goes down, after CD goes down, is Pickens, number 1, Ferg, number 2, Jalen Tolbert, number 3. And that's it. Not Flournoy. Turpin? What happened to Turpin? None of that. All right. I ain't going to keep you long. I'm going to try to get out of here real quick. But let me say this too. I want to say this. I'm a big fan of Will McClay. I'm a huge fan of Will McClay. And, we got 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. And I think Will McClay can do some stuff with that. Cowboys are an excellent drafting team. But 105.3 The Fan brought some stuff up last night, and made me think. And I'm gonna tell you what they brought up. They brought up the draft picks in the last 2 to 3 years that, particularly on the defense, that hasn't done anything. They haven't materialized to where they need to be. Now, some of these guys I'm gonna speak on. These guys are rookies, so it's still early. But still, there's 3 games in. We're going to give you their assessment in 3 games, if we will. Some of it's not fair, I know. Some of it's not fair, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you an assessment of the 3 games that some of these rookies done played and some of the other draft picks. Donovan Ezeraku. The 3 games he's played so far, has been a disappointment, especially the hype that we had coming out of training camp, mini camps. Everybody was talking about him. I think losing Parsons was a big hit for him because when we had Parsons, there was no pressure on him. Right? We had Michael Parsons was going to handle that. We had a pass rusher. He could come along slowly. But now that Michael Parsons gone, now they're looking at Ezra Rocco. We need you to come now. So he ain't got time to figure it out. He got to produce now. And that pressure has him playing kind of slower. So far, and I know he's still a rookie, I'm giving him time. I'm not saying he's a huge disappointment so far. He's just a rookie. But these 3 games, I can only go by 3 games. And the hype that came out of training camp, he's a disappointment. One of my pet peeves is drafting injured players. I know everybody talked about how Siobhan Rivera was a great pickup because he was supposed to go in the first round. And if we can get him in the second or third round, that's a steal. My issue with that is that I hate drafting injured players because the Cowboys has a history of doing that, and it has never worked out. Sean Lee was the closest thing that worked out, and he stayed injured pretty much his whole career. He had a good career, but he stayed injured a lot. It never has worked, in my estimation. Javon Rivera was taken. He hasn't seen the field. We don't know when he's coming back. No, here it is. We're going in game 4. We don't even know what's the update on Javon Rivera. We done took this man in the third, was the second or third round? Did we have him in the third round? Took him in the third round, and we don't even know if he's going to even play this year. Cowboys ain't got the luxury to do that. We don't have the luxury to do that. What you talking about? Look at our defense. Look at the cornerbacks in particular. Trevon Diggs was coming back from an injury. We had Kyle Elam from Buffalo. A bust in the first round so far from Florida. And we got the cojones to draft an injured cornerback? Because of his value? How's that working out for you? So, Siobhan Rivera. Shamar James was a healthy scratch today. Tell me, what makes you say Jack Sanborn and Kenneth Murray playing so well that you can scratch Shamar James when Shamar James showed promise in the preseason? Why was he a healthy scratch? Same thing with Jay Toya. Can we go ahead and end the Mozzie Smith debate now? Have you guys seen enough now? You guys want to make all kind of, when I come out and I put a video out that Mozzie needs to be cut, all these people come and started defending Mozzie Smith as if Mozzie is doing what he's supposed to do. What are you talking about? You don't know football. Mozzie Smith is doing exactly what he was supposed to do. Can we end the debate now? Mozzie Smith had 0 tackles. Jay Toya played pretty good last week. Mozzie Smith had 0 tackles. There was a time in the third quarter where the Bears ran the ball 8 straight times. 8 straight times. They had, was it a 19-play drive? You know how demoralizing that is when you can't stop the run? And the Cowboys have these numbers saying that, the Cowboys are better at the run. No, they're not. They're not better at the run because they can pass. They don't have to run. No team has to run. All they got to do is throw the ball. But when Chicago started running, they ran the ball. 8 straight plays. 19-play drive. Let's stop with the Mozzie stuff, man. See, Brian Schottenheimer came on a press conference and actually had some, saying how Mozzie getting it. He got it. What did he get, Brian? Is this Jerry making the calls, man? Is this Jerry making the call? See, because Jerry don't like paying players who don't produce for him. That's why he bought Zeke back. He was paying Zeke. So he had to bring Zeke back to get the last little bit out of Zeke and didn't go get Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. He bought Zeke back because he was paying Zeke money. So this Mozzie thing is over. It's over. So you professionals who made all the debate about Mozzie and got mad because people was coming after Mozzie. How y'all feel? How y'all feel now? We're going to move on. Marshawn Nealon. He's a player that was taken last year. This is his second year. I like Marshawn Nealon. I think he's okay. He's doing pretty good, right? He didn't get any pass rush. He didn't get any pass rush today, but he's doing okay, right? I ain't mad at him. Marius Lewis-Fowler can't get on the field. He ain't playing much in this Eberflus defense. Was it just me or didn't we watch a preseason game where Marius Lewis-Fowler looked like he was going to be excellent this year? We got some linebackers. We were excited about Marius Lewis-Fowler. Was it just me? What's happening, Mr. Terminator? We need to make personal changes on defense. Absolutely. But weren't we excited about Marius Lewis-Fowler? I know I was. He had a game where he was acting. He was just all over the field. All right, let's keep moving. Kalen Carson. Is Kalen Carson a bust so far? Can we go ahead and say that? And Mr. Terminator, what I'm doing is I'm going over the draft picks in the last 2 to 3 years that we haven't hit on, and it's a major reason why we're struggling, because these draft picks on defense aren't producing. Now, the rookies, it's kind of unfair with the rookies. It's only been 3 games. Donovan Ezeraku has only been 3 games. I'm just saying so far he hasn't been, he's been a small disappointment for all the hype coming out of training camp. But we're going to keep moving. So Kalen Carson, so far, he's been hurt. And when he hasn't been hurt, he's been getting beat. He's not tackling. He's not doing anything. So, but right now he's hurt. Marvin Overshawn, he's coming back. I think that was a great draft pick. I think he will be better. But he's been hurt too. It's 2 years in a row he's been hurt, right? All the talent he has, all the potential he has been hurt. So that's still yet to be determined, right? But I love his potential. Sam Williams. Sam Williams has a major opportunity here. Major opportunity here. And he's just blowing it. Boneheaded decisions. He made a boneheaded play yesterday. He has these penalties in inopportune times to hurt the defense, to hurt the ball club. Just look at the history of him. He was hurt last year. I thought that Sam Williams was going to be a monster last year, but then he got hurt. So this year, I felt that he was going to come back and produce. It hasn't been, he hasn't done anything. Now, one game, he actually led everybody on the defense with pressures. He had 5 overall pressures. That was a good game. I think that was either against Philly, had to be against Philly, I think it was, right? I'm going to get into the sacks total that the Cowboys have in 3 games. It's embarrassing. Let me keep going. Sam Williams, DeRon Bland. DeRon Bland was a good pickup. Good pickup, right? The only problem with DeRon Bland, he's the Anthony Davis of the Dallas Cowboys. He can't stay on the field. I like DeRon Bland. I do. But he can't stay on the field. He was hurt last year. He's hurt again. But I think his potential was great. Just like Overshawn, his potential was great. We just signed to a brand new deal. I think he's going to be fine. So I ain't mad at DeRon Bland. Damone Clark. Can we, again, here we are. We're taking flyers on players who are injured in college, and we bring them in and we expect them to produce. Now, Damone Clark, he wasn't taken as early as some of these other guys that we took early that hasn't produced. I think that we took Damone Clark in the 4th, 5th round or something like that. But, last year was a big disappointment. And this year, is he average? I don't even know if he's average. He's struggling. He struggled last year. Now he's struggling again. And we hear all these great things about him in training camp, but they never put it together. Let's keep going. Let's talk about some of the acquisitions we made in the offseason. Jack Sanborn. This is the guy who played in Eberflus defense. He played in defense. Does he look like a veteran of this Eberflus zone defense? No. He looks just as bad as Kenneth Murray. And Kenneth Murray never played in Eberflus defense. Kenneth Murray is another acquisition that looks so far like nothing. The linebackers look like nothing. No disrespect, just being honest. Kyle Elam, I think right now, if we look at some numbers, Kyle Elam might be the worst cornerback as far as coverage in the NFL. As far as wide receivers getting completions and the yardage on him, he might be the worst in the NFL. See, I don't mind cornerbacks getting beat. Here's my thing with cornerbacks. Yes, you're going to get beat, but you got to make a play too. You got to knock some ball down. You got to get some interceptions. He doing neither one. He just getting beat. So far, that's not a good acquisition. Now let's talk about the sack totals this year. The Cowboys in 3 games have 2 sacks. Let me say it again. In 3 games, the Cowboys have 2 overall sacks in this 2025 season. Let me tell you what he did yesterday. Eberflus played 86% zone yesterday. Caleb Williams went 15 for 24 for 212 yards. So we need to come out of that zone, right? Play man. And man, he went 4 for 4 for 86 yards. The defense is historically bad. They can't play zone or man, right? Now, let's talk about the pressures yesterday. On 29 pass plays, they had 7 pressures. 29 pass plays, they had 7 pressures. That means 22 times Caleb Williams had no pressure. No pressure. And he ate them up. He ate them up in zone. 2 touchdowns, 212 yards. He ate them up in man. 4 for 4, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns in zone, 2 touchdowns in man-to-man. So overall, he had 4 touchdowns. He had 238 yards in the first half. Did y'all see what Russell Wilson did last night? Russell Wilson had a quarterback rating of 43, I think, last night. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But we got 2 sacks in 3 games, bro. Nobody's getting pressure on the quarterback. Mr. Terminator, I'm going to answer some of these comments here. We need to make personal changes on defense. Absolutely. Newell needs to play. That's definitely a option. And let's look at some of the Taco, Mozzie, Carson, Wright, Bus. Even though I love Will McClay, he has had some bust lately. The Mozzie, the Moan Clark, Taco was historically bad. Kalen Carson, man, we might well go and call him a bust, bro. That's what I mean. He has shown no potential since he's been in the NFL. Can we talk about Diggs yesterday? Let's talk about Diggs. I see your quote about Damone Clark. Yeah, Damone Clark is a big disappointment. When he came from LSU, he had the number 18. When you were the number 18, for those who don't know, if you were the number 18 at LSU, that means you a stud. You a stud over there. He got hurt. He had a really bad injury his senior year or junior year. We took him, and he showed potential. He came back hard, and he fought through it. And we thought we was gonna have us. So we stole us one. He never really reached his potential, and now it's almost like he's struggling. But can we talk about Trevon Diggs a little bit, guys? Now, I'm gonna say this, and I hate to say this about players, but I'm gonna say it. Did he give up yesterday? Does Trevon Diggs really want to be in Dallas? Your homeboy gone now. Your partner gone. The one you had the podcast where y'all were talking about Dak and how Dak wasn't the top 15 quarterback? He gone now. Jerry got rid of him. And as much as hell we give Jerry about paying players, he was absolutely right on a couple of them. Steele and Trevon Diggs. $100 million to a guy that won't tackle, not physical, and getting beat like drums now. If Trevon, and guess what? Trevon Diggs been getting beat. Now, sometimes he was, and let me not be crazy here. Trevon Diggs was a great cover cornerback at one point, 2 years ago. He's not that anymore. See, he always was getting beat, but he will make it up with interceptions. And I ain't just talking about interceptions. I'm talking about touchdowns. He would take it back. So we will overlook those times when Trevon Diggs was getting beat. Now he just getting beat. He ain't making no plays, no interceptions. I don't know if he's knocking down the damn ball. Right or wrong now. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Mr. Terminator 73 says, Will McClay has bust because he does not have full control. And I agree, some of those picks was because Stephen Jones and Jerry said, we want that guy. And see, if that's the case, Will McClay need to leave. But see, Will McClay won't leave. They keep paying him. And I'm going to say this. I really don't think Jerry or Stephen, they're like, they let Will McClay pick the players and they co-sign everything. It's basically like, how you have a boss and all he does is sign the papers, but he gets the credit. They put something on his desk, because let's think about, look all the shit that Jerry's in. Look all the stuff that he does. I ain't talking about being the GM of the Cowboys. I'm talking about all the other stuff. WrestleMania and NASCAR and all of this bull crap that he participates in, marketing the Cowboys. He does everything but GM. See, every other NFL team has a GM that focuses on what a GM's supposed to focus on, period. They don't have all these distractions that they do. But our GM does. So, in turn, I think as an 80-year-old man, he doesn't really focus on the talent, he leaves it up to Will McClay. Will McClay really is the only reason why we're competitive. Because even though he missed some. He has some busts. He has some all pros too now. Tyler Smith was a good pick. CeeDee Lamb was a good pick. He got some all pros too. He hit. But he also missed. He's missing a lot lately. Ferguson earned his paycheck yesterday, but let's face it, he is an average tight end. Ferguson can't break a tackle, bro. He can't break a tackle. Think about it, man. His yard after catch is horrible. And his rookie year, it wasn't. We saw in Ferguson, his yak yards was amazing. We thought we had us one. You remember he was jumping over players? And he was showing toughness. And I was like, wait a minute, we got us something. I ain't seen it since. And I truly believe that Jerry paid Ferguson just to piss Michael Parsons off. Because it was unnecessary. He could have waited. Why would I understand you trying to get players at a lower rate, but he didn't need to pay Ferguson this all season. Ferguson didn't show anything for him to get paid. Last year, he didn't show anything. So I would have at least made him earn it. Just like he said about Michael Parsons. He wanted Michael Parsons to play another year to earn it so he can pay him. Ferguson didn't do anything to get that contract, man. Nothing. And now we don't pay him, and now it's going to go down in history if he continues to go on the pace and where he's going. It's going to look like a bad contract because you paid a player who ain't giving you nothing. And let's face it, before the guy got hurt in training camp, one of the tight ends, he looks like he was going to be the number one tight end. I can't think of his name, the big guy. Not number 86. He's borderline being a bust too. I can't think of his name. Give me, Mr. Terminator, what is the other tight end we have for the Cowboys, number 86? Because he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything. Terminator said Diggs gave up and wants out. Yeah, I believe that. I believe Diggs has given up and he don't want to be in Dallas anymore. But you paid a guy $100 million who doesn't tackle, isn't physical, and you paid him for interceptions. He don't have interceptions anymore. He don't make plays on the ball. He just get beat. And he doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care. If you're not a physical corner in this league, I don't know how you're going to make it. If you look at all the runs last year, not all of them, but a lot of those runs came his side. They know he's just going to push him out of bounds. He's not going to stick his head in there. They know that. They know that about Diggs. And I would have traded him, but they couldn't trade him because he was coming off an injury. But now it looks bad now. I believe he quit yesterday. I truly believe he quit. Now, I'm hoping, Mr. Terminator, that we put so much heat on the Brevin Spanford. There you go. Brevin Spanford was a guy I think was playing better to me than Ferguson in preseason. Schoonmaker is the bust. I think Schoonmaker he's on his way. He's on his way. He ain't a bust yet, but he's on his way. Because he hasn't given us anything. And we took him in the second round. And I know everybody who watches the draft, when we took Schoonmaker in the second round, everybody scratched their head. Who is this dude? What is y'all affiliation with Michigan players, man? Who in Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, who in the family has some type of link with Michigan? Because it seems like every time y'all take something from Michigan, they be bussing. Taco, Mozzie, not Schoonmaker. And Schoonmaker ain't there yet, but he on his way. Can we go ahead and say Mozzie a bust? Can we go ahead and do that? Because I made a video and they came, you know, they ain't named me, but they made fun of my video. My video about Mozzie need to be cut. I ain't the only one think this way. So I don't know what it is about Michigan players that the Cowboys love. Y'all need to stop drafting. And nothing against Michigan players, because there's some guys in Michigan. Are there some guys in Michigan playing good in the NFL? I don't know. But I know the ones we get, they're not average players. They become busts. Right? Schoonmaker does, and he drops passes. Yes. Schoonmaker is, I'm telling you, man, he's on his way. After this year, we're going to see what happens. Dak, he played yesterday, right? Dak focused on Ferguson. Dak gave Ferguson 14 targets. Probably more than that, but he caught 14 balls, I think, yesterday. Mr. Terminator says, is it me or did Reddy Stewart look like our best corner out there? He did, bro. Man, I'm glad you said that, man. I thought it was just me, bro. I really did, man. I'm talking about tackling. So you saw how he stuck his head in there and tackling? When the last time you saw Diggs do that? Somebody put it in the chat. When the last time you saw Diggs put his head in there and stop a guy for a 3 or 4 yard loss on a running play? And I think that was the first play of the game that Reddy Stewart did. He did look like the best cornerback we have. I ain't saw nothing from K.R. Elam, bro. I haven't seen. The last time I saw K.R. Elam make a play, K.R. Elam. The last time I saw K.R. Elam make a play was in training camp when he got an interception and he went and picked the boy up on the sideline and put him up in the air. That's the last play I saw him make. Y'all remember that on training camp? He made an interception on Dak or something, and he went and grabbed the boy and put the little boy up in the air. Like he has, he's symbol. That's symbol. He the Lion King. He has arrived. Getting burned ever since. Tolbert, oh, that's another one, man. That's another one. Jalen Tolbert was a miss. He's a miss. Man, we got to really stop, man. You know what? I might have to do just a show dedicated on some of the misses that we've done, because this is really why the Cowboys are where we are, because we're a drafting team. We don't go out in free agency and sign players. So we're a drafting team. So if we're a drafting team and we're drafting players who missing, that's why we are what we are. If we're focused on, we put all the pressure on Will McClay. And maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe that's it. See, they're looking at Will McClay as a savior because they don't do shit in free agency. Every year, we don't go out and get top talent in free agency. So everything is predicated to the draft. And it's so much pressure that Will McClay is drafting, and he can't hit on everything. He's supplying the majority of the team through the draft. And I know a lot of teams do that, but the other teams also sign players to help the team. Right? They assign players to help the team. My camera went out on me. That's fine. I got my MacBook. But that's what's happening here. And it's not working out. It's not working out, man. See my Jordan in my house now. But yeah, man, it's not working out, bro. It's not working out, and it's terrible. Mr. Terminator, K.R. Elam been playing 8 to 10 yards off the receiver. That is too much cushion, bro. If I started to post it last week. It was a play with Malik Neighbors. with 33 seconds left. And I get it. You're supposed to play off him then because you don't want him to get behind you, right? 33 seconds left, man. Him and Donovan Wilson on the same side as Malik Neighbors. It was probably about a 12 to 15-yard cushion. Malik Neighbors comes out of his break full speed. K.I. Elam just jogging. He runs rat past him. Runs rat past Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson his only job is to not let anybody get behind him. His only job. He let Malik Neighbors get behind him. He got behind Nate. He got behind Elam and Donovan Wilson. And that's how they scored a touchdown with 25 seconds left. And if it wasn't for Brandon Aubrey, we'd have lost that game. Brandon Aubrey hit a 64-yard field goal, guys. If it wasn't for Brandon Aubrey, we would be 0-3 right now. Because we look like a 0-3 team on defense. We do. In the first half, the offense was okay against Philly. Second half, we didn't do nothing. We are a good bit away, guys, from really becoming anything this year. And I just want to come on here, man, and give my thoughts a little bit, man. And last night I was a little emotional. I was pissed. I was pissed because I'm just tired of us looking like that. It's I don't understand as a professional. Whatever profession you in, I understand you get beat. But we look historically bad, bro. Historically bad. You can't run the zone. You can't run man to man. You're a professional. There are other teams that got worse players than the Cowboys. They don't look like that. Everybody's wide open. And that needs to be addressed. Mr. Terminator, thank you for coming on, bro. I'm going to read your last comment here. Mr. Terminator 73 says, the problem with Donovan Wilson is he wants to be a linebacker, not play safety. His job is to play center field, and he just does not have the discipline for that. Bro, I've been saying that for almost 2 years now. We really just need to make him a linebacker. We really need to make him, I'm not sure his weight, but he needs to be a linebacker. He doesn't need to be back there as a cover safety. He doesn't. That's not his strength. And that's why I have a problem with Matt Eberflus is that you come here and you look at players, you look at their strengths. You don't look at your system because if you don't have the horses to run your system, then you got to play with what you got. So you look at them and look at their strength. What is he strong at? What is he good at? He's good at stopping the run. He's good at playing close to the line. So let's devise some kind of system for him to be close to the line and put your cover safety back there. You got one. But you won't play him. They played him yesterday. Brian Schottenheimer's press conference came out and said, we're rotating players. No, you're rotating players because the players you starting don't look good. I bet he would too. Matter of fact, in the 2 or 3 years that Donovan Wilson has been here, when he has rushed the passer, he looks great. See, the sad thing is, man, these players are going another system, another team, and the team will put them in the right position, and they'll bring out the best in them. But we won't. Listen, man, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, man. Mr. Terminator, thank you so much, bro, for coming on again and supporting me, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, man. This has been great, man. I needed this because, we're struggling again. We're struggling again on defense. This is really the third game in a row, to be honest with you. Because if you tell me in the first half against Philly, Matt Eberflus didn't put a spy on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts runs amok. Second half, he puts a spy on him. Jalen Hurts stops running. And we have a good defense. So from the start, he's making mistakes. We're 4 games in now. We're 3 games in, but got a 4th game against the Green Bay Packers. And he's still, it's like it's getting worse. It's not getting better. And that's what we got to fix, man. My man, Mr. Terminator 73, man, have a good one, brother. Y'all holler, man. I'll talk to y'all later.